Yo, what's good with you? It's Nia Queen. We're back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I,
Happy 2023.
I got this famous director over here. He goes by the name of Chef Beans, and he is traveling all around the world, showing Transparency Season 4,
Yes. Well, Transparency Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, excuse me. I'm
We
sorry.
had 3 seasons before. The reason why I switched it to Transparency Chapter 4 is to let people know the energy is different. Everything, what they saying, paid in full, I'm breathing different. I'm not, everything is different. So just got to let people know the energy. But how's everybody doing today?
Man, amazing.
We got our first guest of Season 3 here.
Yes.
I'm the first one of the year.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
man.
special.
Soldier boy, you ain't do it this time. Yeah.
Our guest today is Anthony Williams. He is the
Yes.
founder of Neighborhood Heroes. He's a community activist. He's an entertainer, comedian. He does it all.
I try to just do the things that I enjoy doing, the things that bring me happiness, and those are it. Yeah.
I'm happy to have you here. Chef Beans, I'm sorry. I have to ask you, why do you have on those glasses?
So I have on these glasses. So quick story. I've actually always worn glasses. I just broke them prior to moving to LA.
Mm-hmm.
But started working remote, got the benefits, and I'm gonna use up
Yes,
all the benefits.
sir.
I'm gonna get glasses. I might get a grill next time you might see me here.
Yo,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
real.
Different jawline, but
Invisaligns.
yeah, but nah, I've always kind of like enjoyed wearing glasses, especially with all the reading that I do. The older you get, your eyes remind you, like, look, you ain't gotta squint if you don't have to. So
So, true story.
prescription.
I wear glasses or supposed to wear glasses because you got glasses wearers and you got people that's supposed to wear glasses. I
Mhm.
supposed to wear them. First time I got my glasses was like 4 years ago. When I put them on, I turned around and asked the doctor. I said, "Are you supposed to see this far? Like this is what regular people see? Like,
Yeah.
this is like a superhero type of vision, like But I feel it, bro.
Yeah, I wear glasses too, but I just normally wear contacts because I don't really like the way I look in glasses. But it's whatever. We haven't recorded in a long time.
Right. Well, since like November. So I bet the street, what
Yeah.
the streets been talking to you about, what they've been saying when y'all
Uh,
coming back, all
Yeah.
that.
They were like, Nia, how's the podcast going? Like, what's going on? What's going on? I want another episode. Everybody loved that episode when I talked about my ex. It was the most viewed episode we ever did. I was just like, dang. But everybody, said that I did it tastefully and I wasn't outing him. So, I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad people received it in the right way because I was really nervous about putting out that episode because I didn't want to hear any backlash, but which I did get a little bit. But
Right.
we talked about that
I feel like
already.
you should be able to speak out truth.
Exactly.
Share story.
Yeah, like that's the
Share
whole reason why
story.
this podcast is here because I had to go to
Yeah.
therapy because that nigga. You feel
Right.
me? So it's all a part of the story. What's been going on with you like the past month and a half? Like
Besides the transparency, I know we talked about it on one of the previous episodes, was going to be in Philly and things like that. Now I'm about to be in the DMV area, University of Maryland. My boy flying up to host that one too.
Sir.
oh,
But
wow.
yeah, it was just mainly that going into 2023, it feels like reaping the fruits of your labor. It feels like getting rewarded for your resilience. I know a lot of times we're in a generation where people want to say things like manifest this. I want just certain things to happen. But this doesn't feel like that season for me. It feels like things are actually like happening. It no longer just feels like manifestation. It feels like divine timing. It feels like this is here because I've worked for it.
Right.
Regardless of overnight success or whatever people think they might see, this is however many years of work and sweat equity. So that's what I've been up to, just reaping the benefits and the fruits of my labor.
That's great.
And not having imposter syndrome, like I don't deserve the things. It's like, no, like you work hard. So that's what I've been up to.
Well, I wish I had a better past month, but I feel like mentally I just haven't been feeling like myself. And it's reflected in, not recording, not doing, my business. I feel a little burnt out. And I also got COVID about 2 weeks ago. I was partying too much in Houston and I think the strippers gave me COVID. Like I really think I was too close to the
Strippers ain't had to get vaccinated.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I went to the strip club for the first time and it was so fun. But it left me so broke. Yeah, you can't go in there like not with not extra money to spend.
Right.
Like you can't just go in there with your regular money and then
No.
yeah, it's New Year's. Oh shit, I gotta pay the rent today. So when I came back, I was broke.
Happy New Year, yeah.
But
leasing agency, like, yo, what's up?
He was waiting.
But I went back to therapy.
Okay.
And I hadn't gone in like a year. And you know, me being a therapist, I always feel like, oh, I know what to do. Like I can fix myself. But no, I really had to go back because I just felt like if I don't take care of myself, like nothing's gonna happen for me.
Right.
You know, like mentally, you have to be in a good place for other things to flourish, or else you're just gonna not feel like doing anything.
Right.
So, you know, I'm going back to therapy. I got a Black therapist this time, so I feel like, you know, things are gonna work out for the better.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that journey. And you know, having COVID, it just gave me time to reflect. And a part of this episode is gonna be about what I was reflecting about. But before we get into that, what have you seen in the news this week that you want to talk about, or you want me to talk about something?
Well, before we get into that, I just want to check in with Ant real quick. So, Ant, how have you been feeling? Because this is your first time up here to you feel me, like our podcast. Like, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, bro. I'm excited, like to kick the year off in like a new city, outside of Baltimore. And I'm big on like symbolism and like things happen, like you said, divine timing, God's timing, and like for it to be happening like right before I turn 30, like it just means so much. Like coming from a city where like yo, I'm probably not gonna see 25, and then you see 25, and then you move out of that city to see 30 in another city, you know. So it's like I'm really just taking it in. Like I have my moments where I'm just like standing still and I'm just smiling and people like, awesome. You good? And I'm like, yo, I'm amazing. Like, so like, into like, you know, how you was like, you're not feeling like yourself and things. My mom called me the other day and was like, son, I need some motivation. I was like, Mom, you got 6 kids that you got to see all of us grow up. Your youngest turned 29 this year. Like, you seeing 6 of your grandkids. Like, what more motivation? The motivation right in front of us. Sometimes we just got, like you said, slow down. Like, COVID was probably your slow down moment to be like, let me sit still and like see how far I came, right? So I feel like I've been intensely taking those slow down moments to just enjoy what's about to be the fruits of my labor, bro. Like I see this stuff like really unfold, and I get chills when I think about it, bro. Like, and it's happening so slow, but it's like slow progress is still no progress. So,
what made you want to move to LA?
Because the murder rate in Baltimore, it was. I'm gonna be honest with you, like that was the biggest thing. I was around too many people that was dying. Out of the 300 plus that died in a year, I personally probably knew like 50 of them.
Sheesh.
Like,
wow.
And that's just like, you know what I'm saying, from my popularity in the city, the love I get from the city, the love I give out to the city, how I get it around. So from your smallest kid or baby, I probably knew the uncle, the aunt, the mom, or to your oldest adult, you know what I'm saying, that got killed. And it was just getting too close to me. Like the murder was getting too close. And I just knew I had more to offer. So it was just one of those times like, for now, I need to get away. You know, it was too much going on. And that's probably the biggest reason. I'll be completely honest with you. And like, it's only but so much you can learn at home. Like you eventually got to get out. The world is too big. You know, like we don't see palm trees. We don't know what a hot winter feel like. You know, we don't get a chance to get so much vitamin D that you just feel happy all day, every day, all week. You know, we don't know what that's like. We people say it's a gray cloud over Baltimore. So it's like, I want to see what the world see in their cities. Like what are y'all not taking advantage of that I can, you know? So that was my biggest motivation, just knowing like what we're making here. Like we're making things happen in one of the worst cities in the world. Imagine we can go do somewhere with some real resources.
With that same headspace or the proximity of like resources that everybody probably don't take advantage of.
Bro, I just did an interview. I told her the interview last week. She was like, what's your most proudest moment in LA? I said, I can walk to a grocery store.
Wow.
Like, bro, and y'all see the smile on my face, dog. I got 3 grocery stores I can walk to in my neighborhood. I never had that a day in my life.
Wow.
I could never just go to get fresh food and fruits and veggies and stuff. It was always the corner store, the bodega, like. So it's like those small tweaks in your life just like just make you feel like something. So like I want to, I'm embracing that, but it's about time I start showing that to like my people back home so they can get that motivation to do the same.
Right.
Yeah. And like, I'm not for everybody leaving, because I know how people say like, oh, if you leave the hood, how the hood gonna get better? And it's like, bro, you don't got to be there to motivate. That was gonna be my next
question, because you have your neighborhood heroes.
For sure. But I didn't start neighborhood hero for me. I didn't start it for me. I started for the people. Even my run, my friends picked it up. It's still going. Yeah, we don't have the same numbers that we had when I was there, because I'm probably not there. But I need the people to realize it was never about me. It was about y'all.
Right.
I'm gonna get. Can I curse on?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna get my ass up and run. I'm gonna get my ass up and work out to make sure that my health is balanced out as where it need to be. Right. I need y'all to do that for yourselves. I'm not gonna always be there.
Right.
One day I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna expire. And what they gonna say? Oh, because Aunt not here. I'm just become a fat ass. I ain't even gonna work out. No. This is for you.
Right.
I want to empower you, the person. So I need Baltimore to realize, like, even in my absence, it's never about me. The mayors we get, it's never about them. Any type of leader, it's never about that leader. It's about what they're doing for the people to leave. Like, it's what I can leave. So it's like, even in my absence, they still should be moving, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's great.
So
that's great. You can walk to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as simple.
It sounds small, but it's like to him, it's like that's a big deal.
What? Yo, like literally, like
quality of life. And we're very excited to have you here, bro. Like, we have a bunch of things to talk about because what we do here at What's Good With You podcast, we help people develop relationships, not just with others, but also with themselves, focusing on mental health with being the forefront. Mental health is something that not a lot of people know how to talk about, or when it is talked about, sometimes it's connected to like white people shit, going to therapy, white people shit, or just like our community, just pray about it and you'll be good, which are lies. There are really like times where we have to put ourselves in isolated areas to really unpack what's actually going on internally. But before we get deeper into that, Nia, I know you said you had a topic that you wanted to start off with.
Yeah, and it ties into what we're talking about. But I saw an article on how Black women experience depression differently than other races, and I thought that was interesting. And I started reading more and more about it, and it was talking about how we self-criticize, how it turns into like gastrointestinal problems and irritability, and also problems sleeping. And it just kind of was like scary kind of reading it, because I'm like, dang, I go through all these things. And I never really thought that I was depressed. I just thought that, all Black women are self-critical of themselves. I thought that was kind of a normal thing. So it was just like an eye-opener, because, I just feel like as a therapist, I'm very empathetic to other people, and I'm always, giving my all to other people. And sometimes I don't give that to myself.
Right.
And then now I'm seeing like, oh, these are the consequences of that. When you don't make time for yourself, when you are not intentional about pouring back into yourself, these things happen. So it gave me some comfort that like I'm not the only person going through this. And also knowing that I'm going back to therapy, like I can get help for this, if that makes sense. But I just thought that was interesting, because when you're a therapist, you look for certain criteria for somebody to be diagnosed with depression, and those aren't in there.
Right.
So it's like that you could really be misdiagnosed because, oh, well, maybe this is anxiety, maybe this is something else, or it's probably just trauma. But it's like, no, for Black women, this is what depression looks like. You can't find it in a book. And that's why it's important to have, platforms like this, but also Black therapists, so that we understand, like, sometimes it's not always found in a book. You have to look at the research and what, we're going through. So that's just one of the stories that I came across.
That's extremely interesting. Something that you just said as far as like being diagnosed, because it's like, what are you really measuring that diagnosis to?
Yeah.
A lot of times research is based on, let's just be transparent. It's not always like the Black aesthetic. It's not always Black people. It's usually whoever they have for those different studies. But it's a very unique thing that we go through as a people that's not always in these big institutions. I even saw something go viral. It was like a picture of a Black woman while she was like on her third trimester with the baby inside of her. It was I don't know what that picture is called, but people say usually when they're about to give birth, it's like a white woman's body or certain things like that. Like aesthetic and representation is very important, but also when it comes to that internal healing, because who does the healer go to? Who does the strong friend go to? Who do these different people go to? And we know, and I'm pretty sure you felt a lot of weight on your shoulders just growing up, naturally being charismatic, naturally being someone who people gravitate towards too. But when you get into isolated spots, or where you get into crossroads where you're trying to be like, sometimes it's hard to pick up the phone to get like that same aspect of people pouring into you. You know what I mean?
Like, they're not even looking for like and we don't use the word intentional a lot, probably. Just because we're intentional people, but it's like, bro, I'm so intentional about like checking up on my friends and like just putting them in position. And I'll be honest, like it's probably people right now like, dang, I ain't talking to Answer. He moved. Y'all got tired, y'all. I got tired. I got tired of putting people in position. I got tired of giving people ideas. Like, and I'm gonna just say it. I'm to be honest. This interview, I'm gonna have my humble cape off. Like, I've helped a lot of people back in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? To the point, I was telling my homie, I was like, bro, I shouldn't even like feel bad about asking for help. You know what I'm saying? But when you help out so many people, and then you go to the people that you help to ask them for help, and they're never in position to help you, it's like I can't do this no more.
Right.
I can love you, but I can't. We can't be friends because you're not doing nothing on your end to say, damn, let me put myself in position so when he lean on me, I got him. For whatever it is, you know. But if I gotta fight for your help or fight for whatever, it's like I don't want it. Like, yo, I promise you, I will go sleep on what's this strip down here, bro? The homeless strip.
Skid Row.
I will go. I promise you, I'm so humble, bro. I will park my car on Skid Row, y'all, and grind till I get back on my feet if I need to. Like, that's me. I'm not like if you want to help me, I'm down for it. I'll accept it, but when you throw it in my face, it's like, oh heck no, because like that's that strong friend though. Because I always thank God. When I pray, I really be like, oh, thank God. Like, God, I want to thank you for like me being able to have the weight that you put on me, like me being able to handle that. Like, I thank you for that. Because like one day I used to get frustrated, like, why me? Why am I always?
Why am I so strong?
Why am I this? Why people running me? Why people running me? And I was like, you know what? It got to be a blessing. You know what? Thank you, God. So like even I dated a therapist, yo, and my biggest thing was like every day she came home, I was like, yo, like what do I got to do to help your day better? Like what happened today we can talk about, right? Because I know she need that. And it was days she was telling me like piss off. Like I know her day was so bad, but it's like I can't return that energy with that energy, you know? Right. It's like, all right, let me give her time, give her space, but let her know I'm here because like we have to be there for each other. But and then we was talking like mental health. I get so confused on us and mental health because like it's like one minute we talk about manifesting, we talk about the importance of mental health. The next minute we online talking about he got his chain snatched, he's a sucker, but he got his chain snatched and he got shot. Rest in peace. But then it's like, you know, black people this and black people that, or you know, the light is getting this and light, and it's like, yo, what are we preaching? Like, are we trying to help each other heal, or are we over here like?
It's I think it's a constant cycle, and even what you was talking about, strong friend. I know a lot of black women are. So there's something that I'm seeing going around a lot, like soft life this, and I'm happy to see more women and people talking about soft life, but especially like black women, I feel like it's been the norm to always be strong or you got to figure it out because my mom figured it out and my mom was a single mom and all that stuff is like generational trauma, if you call it for what it is. And I think that's a reflection of the internal things that you said black women face sometimes that they're not even aware of because it's normal to taste like weight because that weight might taste like Cheerios. I don't know.
And it's a lot on the black woman. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, yo, and just for the men in the room, right? Let's be real. The most loyal people in our life are men or women. Like if you call right now, that's going to show up. Who are those people? Like if you had to make a call,
bro, I got it's balanced.
All right, cool. So for me, I'm gonna say the women in my life, bro. Like I was raised by women, bro. They committed to me. Even now, like I can call one of my female friends and ask her for something, bro, and her response gonna be a lot different than my homie. Like my homie might be like, "Oh, what you need it done by, bro? Are you in but women is like, it's straight to it. They're like, yo, I'm showing up, right? So it's like their loyalty is different, right? It is different, and they never get that back. Like as a whole, I'm talking whole right now, right? I'm talking as a whole, like I'm talking as a whole, bro. Like I said, I was raised by women. Like I watched my sister, bro, go through 9 months of pregnancy with no man in her life, but me and my brother and my father, like to help her, right? We lived with each other, like, cause and her baby father wasn't there. So one day, you know, yo got upset and was like, man, she fucking crazy. I said, you think she just got crazy? I said, you made her crazy 9 months ago, bro. When you disappeared. Imagine going through that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different, you can't even compare the feeling and emotion. So like, you know, so I say all that to say, like, I don't know what it feels like. I don't understand, but I've seen it. Like I've seen it happen, right? But what I need us to do is people is like stop like having this gap of like, oh, black women are the most unprotected, but then black men is this, and it's like, no, we all are fucked as people. Like we need to come together and help each other. Yeah. We got to break the barriers of because they're doing that. They're doing that. They're putting that narrative out. Oh, black women, y'all, the black man not protecting y'all. Who said that? It ain't a black woman in my life right now that can say I don't protect her. She can say she's probably the most unprotected, but she's not. You're not unprotected. You have protection,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like who put that narrative out there? Them. Because they want us to argue and say, "Oh no, it's us, it's y'all, it's us, it's y'all." Right? We can't.
Yeah, you preaching, Malcolm.
Screw that. Let's help each other heal. But I
think about Black women and them probably not properly getting diagnosed is a reflection of a criteria that probably doesn't fit their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that being one thing, and also again, like we were talking about earlier, sometimes depression and anxiety and all these different things can taste like Cheerios in the morning when it's been your norm, but that doesn't always mean it's the healthiest thing. I know you caught that, and that's why you know.
Yeah,
That was
fire,
good.
bro.
That was off the top too.
For real?
That was off the top, not pre-written,
Bars.
not
That was
pre-written,
a bar.
not pre-written. So, but we all have tasted things that might have been familiar, but not necessarily for us. We've just been conditioned to think that they were for us. So,
Right.
how do we unlearn and unpack as opposed to just accepting?
Right. And I had to take a real when I had COVID, I was reflecting on why am I in this mental state, right? And why do I keep finding myself in the same place where I feel burnt out, where I feel empty, where I feel depressed? And I really thought about it, and I feel like I don't set boundaries.
The B word.
And I was reading a book in the summer called Setting Boundaries and Finding Peace. And I read it, but I ain't used the stuff in there.
Right.
And being, having COVID, I was just like, dang, you really don't set boundaries, Nia. You really just let people, take the best of you. And since I'm so empathetic and I'm like, oh, well, that person's going through this or this person's going through that. Let me give them an extra chance. Let me give them, everybody don't deserve a chance. And I wanted to ask both of you guys, why do you think that it's so hard sometimes for people to set boundaries?
I don't think we're taught it. I honestly I don't think we're really taught how to be human. Like how to be real people. I think we're just taught to work. Like literally it's like this, like since kids. It's like nobody's telling you like you don't have to share your toy with these kids when you go to school. You can say no as a kid, or hey, what do you want to wear today? Like we're not really taught individuality and like
we more so taught to comply.
Yeah. And then we feel this thing of like having to, like and I don't want to like go too far off topic, but it's like it's tough because like you want people to like you, right?
Right.
And you want to be accepted,
right?
You want to be happy,
right?
And you think like, wow, if I tell this person I don't like this, that might get me shunned or get me kicked out of this circle that I want to be a part of. When like, but it wasn't until I was an adult when I was like, yo, I can really be me, and people like still like me.
Right.
Like, wow. Yeah. With everything, I got this quote that I said, and I was like, it was crazy how we can look like nothing that we've been through, but perfectly fine for all the blessings coming our way. Right.
Might need to spin a block on that. What'd you just say?
So I said, it's crazy how we can look like nothing that we have been through, but perfectly fine for all the blessings coming our way. And, I said it, say like we got to realize like, yo, just be me. Like allow me to be me. But like, we got to start making people feel comfortable being them. Like, we as people, like we have to, like, and I'm saying we as people, because it's hard to talk to the masses. We as individuals, like if somebody walk in this room right now and they got a outfit on it, we're just like, wow, like, we can't give that reaction. We can't, because that person feel comfortable. That's them. Like,
right.
That's that individual. Now we can ask and say, yo, what was the inspiration behind your outfit? Because like I might be curious about that, but to like make people feel bad about being them, it's like, it's tough, man. It's so tough. But like, I think that's the biggest part, is like wanting to be accepted.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to boundaries, I've gotten really good at them, honestly, from moving out here. Like we both transplants, we both from the East Coast. So whatever a person's journey on, that's their journey. But personally, I know boundaries got more real for me when I realized I wasn't speaking to people as much if I wasn't reaching out first. Boundaries got real to me once I realized that, again, I've helping so many people, but now it's like your time and people like, I mean, I guess, or it's certain things aren't as genuine. And the more and more you just sit with yourself and be like, okay, these people have been consistent since day one. These people switched up. These people, you kind of get into a place where I can still be open and loving, but also you'll only get as far as I want you to get, or you're only getting the part of me that I want to give you. And that's just how I've been able to protect myself. Some people know me just as Chef Beans, and I'm okay with that. Some people know me as Quan. Some people know me as Q. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I have different like titles, but something that's been consistent since day one is my heart. Something that's been consistent since day one is my grace, is my character. Like there's nobody who say like, yo, Beans is whacking from across the country. Anybody who's ever he's been
Talk
solid
your
since
talk,
day one.
Beans.
No, I'm serious.
No, that's real though.
Like I'm
That's
serious.
real,
You can
bro.
ask anybody, but I say all that to say when it comes to boundaries, I'm just was at the intention in the forefront of how I feel is me knowing that I'm genuine to the core and that everyone doesn't deserve my level of like light and grace.
Mhm.
Like I can microdose it or I can give it to some people in abundance, but at the end of the day, I refuse to be taken advantage of, or I just refuse to just let people utilize my light in a damaging way.
Right.
Selfish is not always a bad thing. Like
Mhm.
I'm okay with being selfish if I'm protecting myself and I'm still pouring into love and life and there's reciprocity in the realm. I'm okay with that. But my boundaries, you can't spell boundaries without B. You can't spell Chef Beans without B.
Beans out here spitting,
Yo, bro, this is every
Bars, okay?
Slight work.
But I really had to be honest with myself about boundaries and why I don't set them. And I think the biggest things, like you said, like being accepted. But in my situation, I feel like it's being lonely. Because as you know, I don't want to sound like conceited or something, but I feel like I'm a pretty good looking girl and I get attention from men. And, sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to talk to him. Or, even though I see stuff and it don't sit right with me, like, okay, this dude got 2 kids, 2 baby mamas. I probably shouldn't have, it didn't feel right. But since I'm unable to set that boundary, it's just like, oh well, he's paying for this, he's paying for that, might as well go. But I had to ask myself, because I keep ending up in the same situation where I'm giving everything, I don't really object to anything,
right?
And then I end up another failed situationship and I feel empty, right? I'm just like, why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel like I give my best foot forward and still get the short end of the stick?
I think sometimes, and you can chime in as well. I know we're all having a conversation, but patterns, especially ones that we're not supposed to like dive into, can sometimes look like, again, like that shiny cheesecake in the bakery, or it can kind of look like something like, I've seen this movie before, but maybe it might turn out differently this time.
Exactly.
We keep seeing the same movie. We know at the end of Friday that Craig beats up Debo. We know at the end of what happens at the end of a lot of movies, but sometimes we convince ourselves that it's going to be a different ending, as opposed to being like, you know what? I have to pivot from this situation. And it's not anything that has to do with you, but this is a reflection of the boundaries and me not trying to fall by the wayside to the patterns that have been destructive to me. You know what I mean? So again, I think it's standing up for you, creating those boundaries first, standing up to those boundaries, being consistent, and knowing when those patterns from the past reappear and they're like, hey, I'm back.
Right.
You're like, you can't even get access inside of this club.
And it's like anything else in life, right? It's like, and it's crazy. Like, I just started like skating and biking again. It's gonna make sense. And I learned this new trick yesterday. And I was like, damn, I finally got this joint. Yo, I was like, I can learn something. Like at this age, I can learn something. Right. But it's like practice. Like so we weren't taught to set boundaries, right? So the minute we start setting boundaries, you got to work at it. Like you said, you got to be consistent. You got to keep doing it until you give yourself a chance to see what comes out of setting boundaries. Because if you never set them, it's like going to the gym. Like you're going to start feeling the change internally before you feel it externally.
Right.
But you got to give yourself a chance to see it though. Like if we never give a chance to give ourselves a chance to see something, then we just never get a taste of it. Right. I always say like, once you get a taste, you can get the whole recipe at that point, you know, but it's like, until you like say, oh, you know what? I'm 29. I'm moving to LA. I don't even date the same, like, because my intentions are different.
Right.
Like, I know what I want 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So I don't want that woman that's just trying to have fun.
Right.
I just want a night out in the town. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather give you $50, you go buy yourself a drink or something, and leave me alone because my time. Like, I don't want that, you know. But it, like you said, it wasn't until I got here that I was like, dang, yo, I have to set boundaries, and mainly because it's expensive.
That's
like, it costs.
It
costs to be a man. I was like, you know what? One date a month, if that. You know, like when I go out, I'm spending this much. Like I can't overdo it, you know. So and you have to stand on that, because if you don't, now you late on rent, or you try to figure out how you're gonna pay this, or your homies want to go out and you can't do this, or whatever that is. So even like the dating world is like, all right, you know what? I know that this wasn't going for me if I was dating a woman that had kids or a crazy ex. You know, I looked past it before. I ain't gonna look past it this time. What comes out of when I do push past that? And it's gonna be hard because you're so used to what you're used to, right? So it's gonna be tough. But that one day you get that taste of that person that's like, oh, I ain't got kids. How old are you? 30? All right, you work out? Yeah. You got a good job? Yeah. Good credit? Yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh, hold up.
Right.
I set them boundaries 5 years ago. I'm just meeting this person. Right. Like,
you gotta stick to it. That's the main thing. And sometimes I'll get into that, oh, well, like you said, like maybe it'll turn out different or maybe it'll be different this time. And I feel like 2022 showed me like, yeah, it's not gonna turn out different. You gotta change the way that you approach it.
Right.
And when you feel that internally, because that's how you know when you need to start setting boundaries. You keep feeling empty. You keep complaining niggas ain't shit, but you're not changing the way that you approach dating. And that was the biggest lesson for me is like, you have to change the way you approach it. And you have to be consistent with setting those boundaries.
And it's like, for me, it's like a blessing and a curse. I got this mindset of like, I try to like be my own philosopher, and I got this mindset where I was like, all right, you know, like, I think I'm trying to like bounce off of your point, right? Of like, all right, whatever I want from a person, let me give that to myself first, right? So it's like, all right, before I expect me setting boundaries with her, let me set them with myself. So what are those boundaries? Like, all right, your ass getting up at 6, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to do this many times a day. Like, you're not doing this. So now when I get into this thing with this person, I ain't even gotta explain it because they see it. You know what I'm saying? If Shorty stayed at night and she like, damn, why you getting up at 6? I just got back from a run. Why you still in bed at 8? You ain't my type of chick. I can't deal with you. Like, I already see it. Like, this is a boundary I set with myself that I'm going to be up by this time. You know what I'm saying? If I find me always, like I tell any woman I meet now, and I'm like, yo, if I find myself always paying for a date when we first meet, I'm not doing it. And this woman was like, how is she supposed to prove yourself to her? And because, you know, she's supposed to prove herself by doing womanly things. I said, if I just met her, she's not going to cook for me tonight. She's not going to come wash my clothes. I don't know her. The only way she can prove herself is by being fair, being even. That's the only way she can prove herself to me. Because just, you know what I'm saying? Just as much as you feel like a good woman, I know I'm a good man. So when I meet these people, I'm coming into it with this confidence of like, I'm a whole person. You know, so it's like, I don't need nobody. I want somebody. You know, so it's because I know I'm complete. And when you get to that point in life, like as the person, like, all right, I set boundaries with myself. I've been consistent. I've been intentional. You know what I'm saying? I've been eating good. I've been doing this. The minute you see somebody, you gonna recognize bullshit. I'm like, oh, that ain't even, Right. So that I do this, I discipline myself. I'm not even doing this to myself. Why would I let you do it to me?
Right.
You know, but it's like we have to get to that point as people, but we're not taught that because we're taught to be so dependent on people, man, and like. And that's where it get tough in trying to find that balance.
You know what you just said? Not to cut you off, bro. Like when you said dependent on people, again, because before we get into the topic, it's the movies, it's the culture. This person completes me. Without you, I'm nothing. All these different things, they in the songs and all this, and we deem them as true. So I think a lot of times we operate through our life looking for our missing piece as opposed to becoming our missing piece. Come on, man.
I was gonna drop the mic, but it's tired.
Yo, bro, for real, that's a lot of people
hitting me right.
That's a lot of people's like mindset. Real, I'm looking for my missing piece. I'm operating out of lack. I'm not enough. I need somebody to make me enough. So you always constantly reaching externally for what you already possess internally.
Bro. It just takes discipline. Like, yo, we really sit down as people. And I'm not perfect. I gave myself a taste of it, right? Like I did Chicago Marathon, right? That was 2019. I ain't did a whole marathon since, you know, and I'm like prepping for LA, right? But I was like, dang, yo, I did that. Like, I did that, right? So it's like, and I tell people, like, the worst thing we can do is stop because now you need double the motivation to get back started. Because it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, dang, like, I got a taste of a good relationship, and I went back to these type of people that I said I wasn't going to go back to, or, you know, and this chick was like, I was talking to this one woman, she was like, just having a conversation, she was like, men don't want nothing consistent, they don't want nothing loyal. I said, they do. She was like, no, they don't. I said, why do they cheat in relationships? Because they want that, but they also want that. They lack the discipline. Right. So as people's like, that's all we need is the discipline. Like, and it's hard like to do it. Like, you know, but like end of the day, like, well, once you do it, that shit like
it feels it definitely feels it definitely feels very rewarding. But let's
would you say that it's easier or more difficult to set boundaries with family rather than friends? Because we're talking about dating, we're talking about people that we don't really know that well. But I've had trouble with setting boundaries with family because as you get older, you know, the more intrusive questions come like, oh, where's your boyfriend? When are you getting married? When are you going to have kids? When you going? And it's just like, I want to respect my elders, but at the same time, it's like, why every time I come to a family function, you asking me when I'm having kids or when I'm going to get a man or, oh yeah, your brother has a girlfriend. When you going to like, it's kind of hard for me because I don't want to be disrespectful.
When you gonna learn how to make mac and cheese? Huh?
Right.
When y'all gonna mind your damn business. That's what
I wanted to know because I feel like, well, I don't know y'all's experience, but I feel like with Black women, it's like once you get past a certain age,
men get that too.
Like they asking you the same questions at every family function. Every time I visit my parents, they're like, "Well, maybe you should try dating this type of man or this." It's like I don't want to hear none of that.
That's more of a them thing than it is us too, though. Like, cause that's just them feeling like, "Oh, I'm getting old. I want to see this happen for this person, right?" And it's like I ain't. Cause like my mom got 6 kids, right? There's only 2 of us with no kids. Like all 4 got kids. Like 2 of us single. Like, and we chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a blessing. I'm happy to see my nieces and nephews. But like, like my story is my story. Like I'm genuinely happy right now. Like I wake up. I live in LA. Like I'm genuinely happy. Like I don't even care if I be late on rent, I'll be happy. Like I know my rent gonna get paid. I'm happy. So like I'm happy. I, the person, me, the individual, Anthony Williams, cool, the person that's standing right here, I'm happy. So like when I hear oh, why are you not doing this? Like people tell me now, why are you not doing comedy in LA? Why are you not in LA?
Right.
You're not here.
People trying to direct from across the country.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like it's my journey, bro. And my pastor said it once. He was like, a casket ain't got bunk beds. Come on, bro. And I ain't gotta say nothing more after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I determine this. This is mine. This is mine. Like, this is it. So it's like, as long as like you okay with it. And that's why I keep saying, like, we gotta get so in tune with ourselves. Like, and I hate like sounding cliche, but like we're so powerful beyond measures. Like, the human body, right? Like think about how far it can stretch. You know, how long it can run. You got ultra marathons that's running 100+ miles. How long people hold their breath underwater. You know, how long they can speak, how good they can speak the vocabulary. People read books and remember pages. And you think that person can do it and you can't?
Right.
And we made by the same. Come on, bro. So the minute I see anything, I'm like, oh shit, crazy. What's up with me? Like, what can this thing do? And I'm gonna tell you what really brought that out of me, meeting the brothers of Omega Sci-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I swear to gosh, like we are so comfortable with life. We got to put ourselves in a position where like we step outside of our norm, outside of like our day-to-day, our regular routine, and really like hone in, really like forget society, drop the social media, don't talk to family, don't talk to nobody. Like and you said this earlier when you was like, you don't want to be lonely, right? And we need to be lonely. So I like moving to LA made me realize the difference between alone and lonely, right? Because like you choose to be alone. That's a choice. Lonely, man, you ain't got no option for nobody. I ain't got nobody right now, right? I'm lonely. Like I'm only lonely because I have to be lonely. Like it ain't like I got nobody. Alone is like I got people that don't feel like being around y'all today. Right. But I'm realizing like you have to be lonely in order to grow for yourself. And I say something else where I'm like, a lot of people are scared to sit in silence because they don't like how much they really hear. Because that's the truth talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ever sit in a quiet room and like it's like, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. And a lot of people, and guess what they do? Hey bro, what you doing today, bro? I'm about to come to your crib and roll up. Let's go smoke, bro. Hey, everybody come drink, cause I ain't trying to hear this right now.
Right.
He ain't saying that, but that's he running from that voice because it's like we can't really like I say we can't, but a lot of us like really can't like or really don't want to hear that because it's so hard to commit to that. But committing to that shows you so like the human body is nuts, like we watch people gain weight, lose weight, like create things like and it's like,
isolation. I think like people thrive in isolation and they're not even aware of, because like you said, phones, apps, like different things like that put your mind on do not disturb. You in constant flux of like this matrix and things that's going on. Oh, did you see what happened with so-and-so? Oh my gosh, this and that, to where again, we've spoke about this before. Like the pandemic was the first time people was forced to sit with themselves because you can't just do your day to day, and that's when a lot of things either built up or crumble. But I mean, We've all made it happen. And just to like piggyback off of like what Ant was saying in your initial question, like it's very challenging to set boundaries with, I would say, more with family than friends. And just because family have really seen you from since you was in the belly to whatever, so they're kind of entitled to think they actually really know you. Yeah. I know you, so who do you think you are to freaking want to talk like this? What you mean you vegan now? What do you mean? All these different things. And it's like, these are the choices that I made as an independent thinker. Yes. But even like echoing, like not being a woman, a black woman, or having a woman body, but it's like, it's so problematic to ask a woman, when are you having a baby? Why haven't you had babies yet? Just because you don't know a person, if a person chose not to communicate that they've had a miscarriage, or just not really trying to just give their body to everybody like it's a freaking slot machine. Right. It's so extremely problematic. So again, it's just a lot of things that's constantly going on. But if we become more in tune with ourselves, like echoing what Ant was saying, being comfortable with setting boundaries, but also being consistent with those boundaries. So you know when something ain't for you shows up to the door, you're like, man, go ahead somewhere. Because I'm staying solid and committed to these. I think that's what will really help with the incremental growth that we all need to take steps every day.
Man, y'all are helping me so much.
Yo, I be telling because I was raised by women, so like my take to women is a lot different than like a lot of men. Like I really like put women on this pedestal, and I be like, yo, I wish women, my sisters will tell you, like, I'm the type of guy that's like, yo, don't even let me get away with it. Don't even let me get away with it, because I don't want y'all to get comfortable.
Then like, don't even let enable you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when it come down to like my nieces, I'm like, yo, never leave them in the room with me one-on-one, because I don't want y'all to get comfortable with doing that with men. Like, never, don't, because I want y'all to see the power in yourselves. Like, never let a man, never get too reliant on a man. Like, you are it. You are it. Like, y'all, I promise you, yo, this is no lie, right? You got women are already at the top. I'm not gonna, this is me, right? I'll argue this. Women at the top. I put black women above that though. So it's like black women, then it's women as a whole, and then you got the man, black man, and you know, like that's how I look at it. Cause like, yo, like think about like how many women out here raised a man, bro? You know what I'm saying? Or raising men. Raising men, bro, and teaching you. And people say, "Oh, a woman can't teach you how to be a man, but she can teach you." It's a foundation, bro. Right. Like the foundation of like love, the foundation of like affection, the foundation of like just feeding you the basic things. Like it's like, yo, like so. I really hold women on this pedestal, and a lot of times I'm like, y'all just women. I wish women can see it. I wish they can see it for themselves, right? And it was this in college. I took like an acting class, and we had this stage play, and it was like. It was based off like this war that was going on in like, let's say Russia or something. Yeah. And all the women stopped having sex with their man. Okay. Right. Okay. So like the next day they showed up to fight each other, and they all in the play we had balloons, so we like used balloons, like it was our private area, and we was like, whoa, stay back, bro. Like I don't want your thing touch my thing, like. He was like, why you like that? He's like, oh, my wife stopped having sex with me because we're fighting. And they was like, my wife said, we got to end the war or we're not going to have sex. He's like, my wife said the same thing. He's like, my wife said the same thing. And everybody sitting there with like this bone and like, and it was like, what the? All right, fellas. He's like, so listen, I'm going to tell you the end story. So he's like, all right, let's end the war. Let's just all go home because we just need this release, right? And everybody went home, the war ended, right? But like the moral of the story was like, yo, women did that. Because they say, you know what, we're not giving y'all nothing. Right. No man, both sides. Our husbands beefing, but we're not gonna beef. We gonna stand in solidarity and say, hey fellas, y'all ain't getting no nah until y'all stop that right there. And we gonna be forced to. You know what I'm saying? Like women hold that. So that's a small example of the power women hold. You know what I'm saying? You think about like think about the Hawk. Right? I use that example a lot. Like, yo, only thing that can calm a black man down is a black woman, dog. Like when we get upset and we get fury, and whether it's our mom, our sis, shorty, it's like it's a different type of thing that comes from a woman. Like it's a different type of peace. And even when you with the woman you like, you trust. It's like, yeah, we offer security to women, but yo, the level of peace that y'all give, like security is one thing, but peace, to give somebody a sense of peace, like to take my mind off everything I'm going through as a black man. That's power, dog.
It's definitely unmatched. But
I'm like, this turned into a Black Woman Stand episode. But that's okay. That's okay.
Because we want. I feel like we want y'all to see that. Like, it's like we want y'all to see that. I want women. I hear about the alpha male talking. We should be alpha people, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear that we should be alpha people. We should all want each other to be on this high thing of like just feeling good and empowered and
it's unmatched.
Well, we love that energy. We love that energy. I wanted to talk a little bit more about boundaries if I can.
No, for sure.
But have you ever experienced a time where you did set a boundary and you got a negative reaction? And how did you handle that? And both of you guys can answer that.
Yes. Well, the first thing that pops up on my mind is in friendships. Like I feel like in friendships, like I've set boundaries before, like, yo, bro, like I'm in a relationship right now, and I have some boys who still cool with like just talking about this or yo, we gotta do this. And I'm like, yo, I'm just not on that time no more. And that's like a boundary that a lot of friends can't accept because when it was on, it was on.
Back in the day.
When it was on, it was on.
Right.
We've had our fun out there, but I'm in a place now where I'm more okay with talking about fucking beet juice and how that made me feel after drinking that than freaking down in the bottle of Casamigos, knocking out, passing out. At some point that was fun. Like yo, remember you passed out different. So like when I say the negative reaction I got is, you know, people like, yo, bro, you changed, or yo, you done switched up. Niggas then went to LA and got Hollywood. It's like, nah, bro, I just leaned into more of myself and what works for me. Yeah. And if this doesn't work for you, like my boundaries, then we need to pivot. Mm-hmm. Or I can love you or just love you from a distance. Or when we see each other, it's just what's up. Like I'm that okay with my boundaries, even if it loses long time friendships. Even if family members choose not to, oh, who he think he is? Who he think he Tyler Perry's son doing all the different things like that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm not gonna what's it called when women have big hair and it gets small? What's that called?
Shrinkage.
I'm not gonna shrink myself no more. See how you just walked into that? It's a lot of shrinkage happening and not in Bean's world. I'm not shrinking shit for nobody to make anybody comfortable. Either you gonna take all this light or you just gonna pivot. But I'm not dimming for anything.
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten the most pushback when setting boundaries with family because, like you said, like they raised you and they feel like they know you. And it's just like, I'm not that same person. I'm not that little girl anymore. Like I have a voice now. I can stand up for myself. And no disrespect to you, but this is what it's gonna be now. Right. And we might not have that same relationship that we had when I was growing up, and that's okay. But I want to be true to myself and I want to be happy. And sometimes that means like I can't allow you to talk to me in that way. I can't allow you to be intrusive and try to control my life because I set a boundary. And you know, black moms can be kind of harsh on you when you try to do that. Like, after all that I've done for you, and it's like, I'm not taking away from what you did for me. Nobody's saying that you didn't do those things. But now as a grown woman, it's like, in order to have my peace of mind, I have to set this boundary. And for me, for some reason, it's easier for me to set boundaries with family than it is with strangers. And I don't know why that is, but you know, hopefully
I think we just get tired of family shit.
Yeah.
Like you deal with they shit for so long. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like y'all love my family to death, you know, and like my immediate family, oh yeah, we so dang on close, yo. Like, and I love them like through thick and thin, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my sister got my back, and my mom, my dad, like through it all. We had our troubles growing up, you know, but like it's certain things and traditions that my family had as a whole. I was like, hey, if y'all ain't gonna change this, I'm out. Like I call myself a whistleblower in my family because I brought some stuff out that was happening for years. I was like, oh no, this ain't happening no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? It happened to me when I was a kid. I was like, when I'm put my foot down, dog. As a grown man, I'm like, y'all know right now, he's like this person's like that, and we're gonna put an end to this. Right. And if y'all don't want to put an end to it, I'm out. Right. Y'all ain't gonna meet y'all cousins, y'all nieces, y'all grandkids. Y'all ain't gonna meet them. Because we not living like this no more. We're gonna like in black families, we so used to sweeping everything under the carpet and hiding it and putting on this facade. When it's like, no, forget that. We need healing, bro. And if we're not gonna really heal, we might as well say after kids that's to come. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got some families right now busting their tail to be like, let me get some land for my babies, my grandkids. Let me get some money. Let me pass something down to the heirlooms. And right now, we're passing down the heirlooms. Trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So eventually, like someone, like it takes a lot for that person that's going like that person that want to break the family curses, right? The person that want to break, because I don't really call them curses, though. Like I don't, because like me, I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did this. So like me, all I gotta do is step away from it or choose to do something different. Like
or reconstruct, or how can we
there we go, or reconstruct, bro. And if it's like if y'all not gonna do it, and I'm gonna chuck the deuces. But it's like in the black family and just like the black community, I don't like the codes we grew up on, like loyalty is a must, and like, you know what I'm saying, like death before dishonor, and like, no, y'all lying about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when we was talking about boundaries, like my own homeboys, right? One of my homies paid for me to graduate college, basically. Like, I had just crossed and everything, bro. I'm broke. You'll pay for my whole graduation outfit. Like, took me to Nordstrom, spent some bread, bro. Came to graduation, everything, right? And I found out he did something behind my back. One of my family members, I went to him respectfully and was like, look, bro, I need you not to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love you. I love her. Like, I need you not to do that, right? He went back, did it again, but this time it got to the extreme where, like, things happened. Baby got involved. He started tripping out and all this other stuff, right? So I told him respectfully, like, all right, that's it. You're done. You're done, son. Right. He ain't reached out to me, ain't called me or nothing, right? And so the boundary with me is like, my boundary is loyalty, like, especially with my people. Like, none of my friends can ever say, and I'll say this, I'll look at the camera and say this, and near person I ever met can say, Ant went behind my back and did something shicey or sneaky, or it was never that. I never did that. So when it happened to me and I step away from you, the person, I don't feel bad about it. Because it ain't nothing you can tie to say, I only helped you. Right. And so I thought we had that type of relationship. Not, you going behind my back and do this. So it's like, with me, it's like, if you call yourself a brother of mine, you call yourself a friend, you're going to act as such. And the minute you don't, you're done, son. Right. You know, so that's a hard boundary of mine. It's tough because it be childhood friends. It's people you came up with. Same like I'm out here, ain't nobody come visit me in LA. And only people that came to see me was people that was doing that self something. And I helped them out. And I'll say this, anybody say I'm gonna go see Ant, just go see Ant. No, y'all came out here for business. Y'all came out here to do whatever y'all was doing and hit me because y'all needed a ride. Y'all just want to see. I know what it is, so don't act like it's I'm just see him right now, because the intention is different. You know what I'm saying? When you've been intentional about it, it comes from a different place. And I'm not mad at it because I appreciate any time that anybody chooses to give me. But nonetheless, just I know where mine comes from and where I pour it from, and not expecting that from nobody. But when I don't get it back, now it's up to me to decide, do I want to stay on this treadmill, run the same pace, or I want to step off this joint? You know?
Yeah. I like how you are very direct when it comes to setting the boundary. And that's when you are setting boundaries, you have to be direct and you have to reinforce it. You have to do it multiple times. Yeah. And you also have to be prepared to walk away when things are not where they need to be. So, I appreciate you for coming today, and I loved our discussion on boundaries, Black women, all things. Do you have anything that you have coming up that you want to share with the people, or how could they find you?
If they want, check me out on Instagram at cool_ant, COOL_ANT. And that's like the biggest platform I use. I'm working on some things right now, like a website. And I'm really looking to get a group started here in LA. I want to, it's going to be called More Than a Runner. Cause like we're gonna do more than running. Like I want that group to like go volunteer places together and like, help each other out in our personal lives, like whatever that is. If you need content shot, if you need people at your show to work the door, whatever. Like I want it to be that core group, like really build a real community out here, and not just like and not like, I ain't talking about I'm saying not nobody got it on, but not just like a one-time meetup or a one-time link up. Like really just build like some genuine bonds. And I think like it'll put me in position to start like meeting my people in LA as well. So definitely look out for the details coming of like a weekly like fitness group. I'm not even gonna say running. Yeah,
I'll be on the lookout for that. What about you, Beans? Sure. I know you got some special things coming up.
Well, by the time people see this, no, I don't think the screening would have happened yet. Next, we're gonna be in the DMV area. Transparency, yes, Chapter 4. Cool Ant flying out to host that thing. Sir. You know what I'm saying, in the hometown. And outside of that, again, it's just, don't be surprised. If it's anything I could tell people, I'm gonna look at my camera. Don't be surprised at the things that y'all about to see sprout that are sprouting, because it's a reflection of a lot of sweat equity. It's a reflection of a lot of work put in. So again, just don't be surprised. I'm grateful, I'm humble, but also not surprised. Y'all know y'all can find me chef_beans on all social media platforms, chefbeans.com. This is the beginning of I need to stop saying that. This is not the beginning of a beautiful thing. Things have been going on for a minute. So it's just more and more beautiful. And I'm sorry. This is off the top. This is not the beginning of
bro. The humble cape is 23 and about. Jordan wasn't humble, yo. And this is his year, dog. I'm sorry.
No, this is not the beginning of a beautiful thing. This is just more and more beautiful thing. What about you, Nia? What you got going on? I'm sorry. Had to calm myself down.
Well,
yo.
Follow us on __ What's Good With You. And also, this is going to be on YouTube. We're going to put the clips out on TikTok. as well. And we have merch now. We have
Yes.
merch, y'all.
Hey.
Please support us because I love y'all, but this is getting expensive. So please help us out by, purchasing some merch and, supporting us. And that is all.
Yes, if y'all have any questions or anything that y'all have for us, just feel free to reach out to us via DM, email, whatever that may be. Like, subscribe, share with a friend. This is What's Good With You. Just remember to find out what's good with you.
Bye, y'all.